welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name is Katie, this is my daughter Lily, and today we're making French fry soap. You can't have a hamburger without French fries, it's just wrong. And no, of course I didn't wait 5 seconds between filming yesterday's intro and today's intro. Oh, bless you. This soap is actually pretty simple. I think the French fries are kind of the highlight, so the inside of the soap, not very complicated. If you aren't following me on Instagram, I got 2. One for Royalty Soaps and Soap Creations, and one for personal life. Follow me over there if you care to, and if not, that's cool too. And without further ado, let's get soap making. We are going to begin by pouring our lye water solution into our oils. And now I have my immersion blender, or stick blender as some people call it, and I'm going to blend on low until everything is emulsified. Okay, so everything is emulsified. I'm going to take out my stick blender, set it off to the side, and then we're only doing one accent color for this. So I'm going to pour off that accent color right now. My inspiration for this soap is the McDonald's French fry box. So it's got the French fries coming out, they've got a red box, and then they've got some yellow in the box as well, mainly with like the big M that's on it. Now I'm not going to put an M in the soap. I'm just gonna put a little stripe of yellow. The yellow I am using is True Yellow from TKB. As you can see, I have a really big bag of this, a 1-pound bag in fact, because this is how much I use their yellow. And then for red, I am using Really Red Mica from Nurture Soap. I cannot wait to see this color transformation, so let's blend it all up. The other thing I am obviously inspired by, because French fries is mustard and ketchup. When you do a tub of a big color like this, it is really important to scrape down the sides of it, because it's really easy to have a little bitty bit of the soap that just doesn't get quite mixed in enough, and then you have a bit of it that's uncolored. So we don't want that, so I'm gonna make sure I really wipe this down. And now for the fragrance oil. So this is my super secret blend. It's the sugared strawberry custom blend that I've created. I don't think anyone actually wants the soap to smell like French fries, so I went ahead with a fruity smell that would match the red. I'm gonna blend this in by hand. I happen to know that this fragrance oil does accelerate trace just a little bit, but it does really super well whenever I blend it in by hand. The fragrance oil has been mixed in, so let's start pouring into our molds. For the first bit here, I'm gonna pour almost, I would say, a little over half of the red in, about yay much. Come over here, do the same thing on this side. Now we're gonna pour in the yellow. I'm gonna kind of make this sit on the top a little bit. It doesn't have to be a very perfect line. Can be a little bit splotchy. I, again, want to kind of make the fries look like they're being dipped into ketchup and mustard, but I also want to kind of make it look like they're in a container specifically for French fries. Now I'm going to tap these down on the floor real quick. That has evened them out a little smidge, and so finally I'm going to take what is left in my bucket of the red. I'm going to scrapey, and I'm gonna put this red along the top, being very gentle, very careful, because these molds are pretty full by now. And with a vivid color, like a red like this, it's always really easy to see exactly what is left in your bucket. So I always scrape these for a lot longer, not because they need them, but because I can't stand seeing soap on the inside of the bucket left over. But before I finish my final scraping, I'm gonna tap this red down so that it covers most all the yellow. A little bit peeking out's no big deal, but I want it to be mainly red on top. I'm gonna come over here to this second one do the same thing on this side. Now that all the soap is in the molds, let's talk about the real showstopper, the French fries. Here are all my French fries in this bucket. So they're sort of a cartoony looking French fry, and that's what I wanted. They're crinkle cut, and then instead of coloring them like a really pale tan all the way around, like I said, I wanted them to be sort of cartoony looking, so I've gone ahead and made them a little more yellow. I put in some Aztec gold to give it a little bit of dimension so that they're not all just like buttery lemon yellow all the way around. On the front side, they've got a little bit of that Aztec gold. They got some yellow on the side. All around, they look like they have actually been fried. This is the mold that I used to create them. This is from Vanulay. It's the French fry mold. I'm pretty sure there's 11 cavities. Yeah, there's 11 cavities in here, so you can make 11 French fries at a time, and I have cut some of them in half. I'm gonna do my very best to avoid putting the French fries in the area where I know the soap is going to get cut. This may be kind of difficult because I want there to be a lot of French fries in this soap. Like, I want it to look really full. I don't want to be the fry giver who chinched you on the fries in your McDonald's Happy Meal. I want you to be happy with the amount of French fries in there. And I'm gonna make them all different heights too. This is definitely going to take me a while. Actually, let me come to the middle so that you guys can see this a lot better. It's definitely gonna take me a while. So while I'm doing this, I thought I might talk about the recipe that I have listed down in the description box below. Here's some tips about how to use the recipe. First of all, if you are a beginner soap maker, that recipe I have listed is too big. It makes one of these and one of these, so 2 brambleberry size molds. And that's not what I would recommend you making your first batch of soap with. I always recommend that beginners start with 2 pounds of oils or less, so 32 ounces of oils or less. That means you're going to have to know how to resize a batch. This is essential if you ever want to make soap. It's something that you should know before you try to make soap. There are plenty of fabulous articles to help you navigate that. I know for sure that Soap Queen has one, but I'm also pretty sure that Modern Soap Making and Love and Soap also have one. So number 1, make a smaller batch. I have in the description box a beginner soap mold from Amazon. It's like $10. I personally own it. It is a great beginner mold, and it holds about, I would say, about 20 ounces of oil. So it's been a while since I used it. You need to calculate it based on the dimensions if you end up purchasing it, which you will absolutely learn to do if you read that article, which I will also leave down below. So again, number 1, use a smaller batch. Number 2, and this is where I see the most people have problems with my recipe. You need to wait until the lye water is at room temperature. It needs to be between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit before you start working with it. If you start working hotter than that, it's gonna thicken up on you, it's gonna get gloopy on you. If you're working with a floral fragrance, you're really gonna hate the recipe. It is not designed for high temperatures. My soap has a water discount, so it does not do well under such circumstances. You can still work with florals with this recipe. I do it all the time. You just need to make sure that your soap is cool enough. I'm not joking when I say that my lye water solution sits overnight. I leave it on the counter for like 10 hours before I use it. I know it's so exciting to make soap and you just want to start right away, but you will not end up with, you know, soaps that are like super good looking if you soap too hot. So make sure it's at room temperature, for real, for real. So why do I have a water discount with my soap recipe? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Number 1, cuts down on the glycerin rivers. I don't ever get glycerin rivers with this recipe. Ever. Number 2, I can unmold this soap without having any stickiness as long as I have blended in the fragrance oil well, and the fragrance oil isn't one that causes stickiness anyway. I can unmold it in 18 to 24 hours and it slides right out without any denting or smearing or breaking or anything like that because it's already pretty hard. This also, of course, helps my soaps be ready faster because there isn't as much water to evaporate out of them. Just so you guys know, I also have multiple dehumidifiers running in my soap rooms that help draw the moisture out of the air. That will also help your soaps cure faster. So yeah, little recap. If you're a beginner soap maker, make a smaller batch of my soap and make sure you're soaping at room temperature. Also work with fragrance oils that are not super tricky. That's not really like a batch help question. That's just like good advice for beginners. Don't work with difficult fragrances. It's not worth your time. Not when you're still unfamiliar with soap at large anyway. Like, don't add anything extra to your plate. You don't need that sort of stress in your life. The recipe I have listed in the description box below is still the recipe I use in every single video unless otherwise specified. As an example, the Bastille soap that I made and the soap that I made for the George Takei people, I did not use that recipe. I had special recipes that I crafted just for those videos. I've had a lot of people ask me why I give away my recipe for free when so many people like to keep their recipe secret, which is cool. Like, I'm totally for that if that's what you want to do. I'm not busting on anybody else. That is their business. Those are those decisions, and you know, I am proud of all of my soapy friends who have businesses and that's what they choose to do. I just wanted to share it because honestly, I really like to teach people. I like giving them a recipe that I know works because I use it all the time, and I've gotten so many messages from people using this recipe and having really good results and soaps that are turning out really amazing. I get tagged on Instagram in lots of people's posts about the soaps that they're making, and I love seeing that. I love seeing people start out being successful and not having to go through like all the rigorous testing that I did, because you guys, if I could tell you how many recipes I have formulated with soap, it is well over probably 150 with small tweaks here and there, different ingredients, different butters, and it's so time consuming. And then once I found it, I didn't want to hoard that information all for myself. I really just wanted to share that with other people so that they could have fun making this craft. I don't feel like soap making should be an exclusive club. I feel like it should be an inclusive club. I think it's something that I want to encourage people to do, not discourage them from doing it because I'm afraid of an oversaturated market. Okay, I think I can squeeze one more French fry in here on the side. That took me so long just to do that one French fry loaf. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second one off camera, and I will bring you guys in for a close-up. After all is said and done, this is what the top of the French fry soap looks like. I should also mention that I took some super clear melt and pour and kind of put it in the cracks, as you can probably see. And this is just to make sure that the French fries don't move. Here, that's a really good one to look at. Yeah, you can see I sort of filled up that area because I don't want those to move around or fall out after it has all been cut. So it's just a little bit of an extra safety measure. So I'm gonna let these sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back to cut them all up after this quick commercial break. We are back the next day to cut the French fry soap, and I'm so excited about it. Wow, there were definitely some casualties of war. Okay, so let me remove this middle one here. Yes! A French fry box. First of all, it smells great, which is always a big fat plus, but also this is just so cute. I cannot. Now, if you make a French fry soap, here's what I suggest. Don't do what I do over here at the end, because then I did end up having to cut all these French fries. They didn't stay all on one soap. Just make one line of French fries. Your French fry box won't look as full, but man, cutting will be a lot better and you will have a lot less opportunity to screw it up. If you haven't seen the burger video, you should, because it was yesterday's video. I will leave you guys a link, of course. But these are definitely cute enough to stand on their own. own. Let's just pretend like this one looks normal. Here's what the ones that have the French fries cut look like. It just looks like you're dipping them in ketchup and mustard. And of course all the little soaps that have little bits here and there, I will clean those up. I might run a couple of these underwater to get all the little scraps off so that they all look perfect before they get packaged. Caleb, do you have the question of the day for us?
Yeah.
Great. Promptly forgets. Okay.
Would you rather only eat incredibly spicy food or only eat incredibly bland food?
Spicy. No. Wait, I feel like that would give me indigestion for years. Probably bland then. I guess it's oatmeal for life. What would you pick? Oh, well that's a good choice too. If you'd like to vote in the question of the day, you can click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Yay! The French fry soap is complete. Smells amazing. I'm in love with the design. Paired with the hamburger, it's like perfect. I hope you all really enjoyed that little soap set that we did. Tomorrow's soap is a mix between glycerin and cold process. You guys have been requesting I do another one of those. Oh my. So if you like clear soaps, you're not gonna wanna miss that video. I also just wanted to say a huge thank you to you guys because apparently y'all went to all my favorite suppliers, told them my birthday was on the 26th, and now they've all sent me birthday presents. If you guys would be interested in seeing me do like an unboxing of the birthday presents these amazing companies have sent me, let me know in the comments down below. That way I can make a special video for that probably a few days after my birthday if you're interested. If not, I'll probably just do some Instagram stories. You know what? I'll do a poll. Would you rather see Instagram stories of my birthday presents from my favorite companies, or would you rather see like a full YouTube video? There will be an I in the upper right hand corner of the screen. That's how you will cast your vote. And until next time, I hope you have an absolutely royal day. Do something awesome for yourself today, whether that's going to get something nice and cold because it is hot as a 400-degree oven outside, or taking a dip in your swimming pool because it's as hot as a 400-degree oven outside. Whatever it is, do something to make you happy, and I will see you all soon. Bye for